So I could talk on so many different factors on this, but to be quite honest, there is so much information that I don't want it to be a huge series on this because there's other topics that I want to cover. Basically, what I'm wanting to say is with narcissists, psychopaths, and sociopaths, you can't tell them that they are that. A lot of the time it is like a personality disturbance and they can't actually see it. Like they know that something might not be right and they know that they are maybe super intelligent or their decisions to sabotage and hurt people is intentional. But you can't tell them that. They will try to manipulate and they will actually probably gaslight you. So according to the research that I have done on it, you can talk to a psychiatrist and explain this is what you see, this is how you feel, because a lot of the time you're going to feel a certain way when you get treated badly by these people, gaslighting for example. But for example, to be gaslit is not a reason enough to say that somebody has a personality disorder. Okay, telling a lie here and there is not reason enough. Being an impulsive person is not reason enough. You have to have a couple of different qualities to be able to say, okay, something's not right here. Okay, so what I'm wanting to say is one of the reasons I have this channel is to talk about things that I have encountered in different people through the years and things that have caused me to be interested in learning more about these topics. That these people do look like normal people that don't look like the bad guy from Harry Potter. Well, it's quite obvious when you look at his face. They don't look like the Joker. Okay, so you could walk past a narcissist on the street and not know it. And it's the people that are directly affected by them that would feel it and that maybe feel broken and hurt. Okay, so what the sum up is, because this was a little bit all over the place, but simply because there's a lot of overlap. And some of the articles were confusing for me because there is a little bit of, with sociopaths, impulsive behavior, but also controlled behavior. So I think it probably depends on the situation, probably depends on the sociopath. You probably think that when they're wanting to actually rob the bank, it's controlled and they've got, but in other areas, like picking somebody up, they're impulsive. I think that probably does depend on the sociopath and the context. But what you're looking out for, that you might sense in your spirit or sense in behavior that you think is strange, is the lack of empathy, is the law breaking, the right violation. So I'm not talking about like playful boundary crossing, I'm talking about right violation. Like breaking into a house, that's a right violation. Okay, that's not just boundary crossing, that's jail time. So we suspect, maybe you can suspect you are like that, and this describes you and you're curious, which is interesting because usually people with personality disturbance don't have a lot of self-awareness, depending on the personality disturbance. But narcissists and psychopaths definitely don't have self-awareness because they lack empathy. So read up about it, see if it makes sense, because if it doesn't make sense, then it's not. Okay, it's the same way that you'd read up about what does a heart attack look like. Other people cannot see that you're having a heart attack because they cannot see your heart, but they would see how you would physiologically react. So if you can tick those boxes on this is what a heart attack or a panic attack would look like, you would go to a doctor. Okay, so if you can see certain things in a person's behavior, you would go to a psychiatrist and you would say this, and then they would say yes, you're possibly right. They can't confirm it because they haven't spoken to the person. Like a good psychiatrist would not confirm it because they have not spoken to the person. So they would say it sounds like this, and then you would need to make a choice how much effect they have in your life. Because unless they go in there and they own how they've been behaving and that they want to change that, the circumstance will not change. It's another reason why I have this channel. You cannot help somebody else change and stop them from treating you badly. Okay, so you know, okay, this is what it looks like, so this is the choice that I'm going to make from there. How much influence do they have in your life? Because sometimes you work for a person like this and for the next year you have to, for example, how are you going to work for this person knowing that they're a narcissist? Okay? A lot of the time it's got to do with empathy. A lot of the time it's got to do with them not knowing, or with them knowing this is right and this is wrong, but not giving a damn. So let me explain that properly. Knowing that it's wrong to rob a bank, but not caring. Not caring about the consequence, not fearing the consequence. What is interesting that I think I actually didn't add was a sociopath. You would see sociopathic behavior before puberty, so it's young. They say it happens before puberty, so it's in childhood. The way that they respond to stress and anxiety and shame, they respond in exactly the same way because they have it, like a normal person. But because they went through severe, serious abuse, they have a certain detach that helps them to deal with the uncomfortable feelings. So if you're seeing a lot of rage, that's over things that you wouldn't get, you might get irritated with, but would you become rageful? It's a question mark. When you feel like this person lies a lot, okay, according to this high sex drive, which is why I think a lot of people who are psychopathic or narcissists, when they get married, they have a lot of one-night stands on the side as well. It's a very interesting idea. It would explain, the high sex drive would explain this. It does have to do with a lot of power over people, but the high sex drive is definitely part of the reason why they do this. And then the power of persuasion over people. So when the person says, no, I really don't want to do this, and they push and they push and they push and push. And sometimes it comes down to rule violation. No, I don't want to help you rob the bank. No, I don't want to help you, I don't know, break somebody out of jail. This kind of thing where they persuade you to do it, it's unhealthy. Alright, so I could go on and on and on about this. Psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists, the traits overlap. Some people might have certain traits, but you need to generally have, if there's 9 or 10 traits, you need to have more than 50% of those traits to be diagnosed with it. And it needs to be consistent and chronic. Meaning, do you see it in different contexts with people? Or are they only rageful in certain situations with certain people? Because then it means it's the context and the people, and it's not the person who's acting out. What it is we're seeing a behavior that's acting out. That's what you're seeing. And maybe you can sense something in the spirit if you're intuitive or things like this. But acting out is robbing the bank. Acting out is slipping the drug into the girl's drink after she has said no to sex, and then you take it. That is right violation. It's finding a way to get what you want, and it's dangerous.